What is a disturbing fact you wish you never knew? Before we dig into it, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Story 1. The reason why morgues prefer to hire women, not men. Story 2. I remember watching an episode of Show Monsters Inside Me where the 16-year-old kid was doing something outside and a fly flew into his eye. It only made contact for about a microsecond, but it was enough time for it to lay eggs. After they hatched, they started eating his eye from the inside, and he was starting to go blind until a doctor finally figured out what was wrong. Just imagine that, getting your eye eaten from the inside and losing your sight, all because a fly very briefly made contact with you. Ever since I learned about this, I get really paranoid when there is a fly around my face because of the fact that this could possibly happen to me. Story 3. That babies didn't receive any anesthesia, even for open heart surgeries, etc., until the late 1980s. Story 4. We are possibly on the brink of medical technology and treatments, losing 100 years of progress because new strains of bacteria are becoming antibiotic resistant, and finding new antibiotics is a slow process far outpaced by the amount of resistant bacteria. Imagine getting a minor cut on your hand and dying from it. Added benefit, our own immune systems have also taken a hit as well because our overuse of antibiotics has killed a lot of the good bacteria in our bodies that works with our immune system. Story 5. How profoundly stupid the vast majority of people truly are. Story 6. 93% of human history is not recorded. Story 7. In the United States, 3 women per day, every day, are murdered by a present or former intimate partner. Story 8. I recently finished a book about World War II in China, so I want to say everything about the rape of aging. Women being word in puddles of their own crap. Little girls being gang word. Men being used for bayonet and target practice. Men being half decapitated using a samurai sword to slice half their head off. Women being word with lengths of bamboo. Yeah, I'm done. Story 9. Hospital-acquired delirium is insanely common in hospitalized elderly patients. Ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a hospitalized loved one, thinking they are at home in a hotel in a different hospital, rambling about crap that makes zero sense and perhaps thinking it's a different year? I am every night and I'm starting to lose my freaking mind. But you know what's freaking hilarious? My grandma at 96 handled 2 weeks in the hospital with no issue, whereas my 68-year-old father literally acts like a patient with dementia. Maybe he's developing dementia, I don't know. Again, I'm losing my freaking mind too. Story 10. How big anglerfish can get. They're not massive but can definitely get larger than I'm comfortable with, given the size of the teeth. Story 11. In Dubai, I've witnessed the acts of human trafficking and illegal prostitution. I've tried my best to get it onto the light at the time I was there, but everyone there kind of aware of it already and said we know one can or will do crap here. Even that, the daughter of the crown king, a literal princess, had tried to escape the country but was caught and brought back. I left the country the next week. Couldn't stand the thought of it. Story 12. Every hour, an average of 12 children go missing across India. Every day, that averages 296 children missing across India. Story 13. Absolute. Perfect health is merely the slowest rate at which you are dying. Story 14. Most people on our teenagers aren't teenagers. Story 15. There's a spooky skeleton inside you right now and it's wet. Story 16. Just gonna spoiler this one out, cause it's really bad. There are microscopic arachnids that almost exclusively grow on human faces, called demodocs. They congregate around hair follicles like eyelashes and nose, and also the cheeks and forehead. For some reason, almost every human has them, and it's not possible to get rid of them all. Story 17. My mom lives far from me and we only get to see each other once a year. She's 65. Even if I'm lucky and she lives until 80 or so, I'm going to physically see her around 15 more times. The idea of it being so limited makes my stomach hurt. Story 18. The suicide rates of young women, before and after the release of the first smartphone, spoiler alert, spiked and hasn't gone down since. Story 19. It's illegal in India to find out the gender of your baby because so many prefer boys over girls.